Okay, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Right? And today we're going to be going over the history of the Apocrypha and why it's not located in the middle, right, of most people's Bibles, in between Malachi and the beginning book of the New Testament, which a lot of you guys know as Matthew, right? So let's get the history on that. Right, so here we go. The Apocrypha, right? And we're going to jump down to the point. It says, in all of the above translations, mention was made to the effect, or what it's about to say, that the Apocrypha, while not accepted by Protestant and Hebrew canons, were nonetheless useful and good to read. However, the Puritans rejected them as not being of divine inspiration. Remember, the Puritans rejected them as not being of divine inspiration and therefore having no authority in the church. Due to this opposition by the Puritans, later editions of the King James Version in general omitted them. Right. Now, let's see some history about the Puritans and why it's not good to take what they say as any importance, right? This is the book called The International Library of Negro Life and History, page 52. Here, this paragraph. Their Puritan masters were perhaps the most devout of the settlers. They thought of themselves as creating the kingdom of God on earth. Very proud. Yet these same men dominated the colonial slave trade in the Western Hemisphere and owned slaves of their own. So I don't think these are the people you want to be taking biblical advice from of what to read and what not to read, because they may be trying to hide things to support slavery. The Puritans were perhaps the first Americans to create an ideological justification for what? Slavery. They suggested that the slaves were the children of the biblical Ham. But we know they're not. We know we're Judah. But that's what these niggas think, right? Who had been condemned to eternal servitude. Although some leaders such as Cotton Mather expressed uncertainty, I don't give a damn. You got down, you complied, you didn't fight. So you were just as bad as the rest of them. You ugly as hell. Roger Williams and other eminent theologians view blacks and Indians as the unregenerated seed, who could in no way be considered as part of the elect or the body of persons whom God in his mercy had chosen for salvation. They said this because they knew that they were the people that the Most High had chosen for salvation. And the reason that they took the Apocrypha out is multiple verses. But let's go to one, right? That, you know, since I got it out. What's the good one, right? Second Ezra 13 and 40. The second Ezra 13 and 40, right? The second Ezra chapter 13, verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner out of their own land in the time of Osea the king, whom Shalmaneser, but here it says Shalmaneser, same dude, the king of Assyria, led away captive and carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they, as the 10 tribes, that they, the 10 tribes, would leave the multitude of the heathen, the Assyrians, and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, which is America, right? That they might there keep their statutes, that when they get to America, they can keep the statutes of the Most High, which they never kept in their own land, and they enter into the Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river, for the Most High then shewed signs for them, and held still the flood, so they could get over easily, till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and that same region is called Arsareth, and this gives you the history of what you would call the Native Americans, which the Bible is calling the 10 tribes, how they got over here, right? That's one reason why this book was not accepted or the Puritans wanted out, right? And these people, or the Puritans, said in no way those Native Americans, right, or blacks, it says views blacks and Indians as the regenerate seed who could in no way be considered part of the elect. Now, you got to ask yourself, they suggested that the slaves were the children of biblical Ham, but then if that's for blacks, then why are they excluding the Indians? Because they know who they have in slavery. If that's supposed to justify Judah being in slavery, why are the Indians the unregenerate seed? Because you know, and you've read the Apocrypha, and you guys knew what you were doing from the beginning. So with that, I say shalom, and exactly. The point is, okay, that the Puritans they have no say so, right? They have no say so. So with that, I say shalom.